How are you doing? Welcome to the Total Connector Show. You probably can't see me. I'm sorry, it's a little bit shaky over here and maybe even a little bit noisy in the prominent Burggarten in the city of Vienna. It's a lovely day, it's sunshine. Anyway, it's about total Bitcoin, total freedom, total decentralization, total censorship resistant. It's all about freedom, actually. The essence of Bitcoin is freedom in all kinds of shades, colors, forms, dimensions, levels. So I've had, these kind of discussions about the accessibility, user-friendliness, educational-wise, about how to onboard more and more potential interested, curious, really curious, inexperienced, non-technical newbies onto the, Bitcoin evolution. But I seem to experience nuanced reactions to that, positive and negatively, when it comes to, explaining the process, the steps to be taken. Would it be hardware wallet? That's the first step, right? As Stephen Levera said, people usually get wrecked. They do have bad experiences, or they find out that it's totally insecure when leaving their Bitcoin or whatever Satoshis they have on the exchange, on any kind of exchange. But there are some really good, trustworthy, credible, and really top-notch security crypto exchanges, or what we would wish only Bitcoin exchanges. One of them, I can totally, vouch for that, and that is Kraken. Everybody I know and myself, we just have, beautiful experiences and encounters with, the serious, credible, professional, competent, top-notch, up-to-date security Kraken. So that's the first step, right? So people go on the exchange, they buy some Satoshis, maybe a fraction of a Bitcoin, a whole Bitcoin, whatever that is, or a handful of Satoshis. And usually most people just leave it there. But, as Andreas Antonopoulos and many others often reiterated and emphasized, not your coins, not your keys, not your coins, right? Not your private keys, not your coins, not your Bitcoin. So so that's the first, baby step. We all got to go through the mud and, experience the pain ourselves. So the second step then would be, you get the advice, you find out you got to get yourself a hardware wallet. And what is better than a Trezor hardware wallet? Much, much more intuitive. From my own experiences. Forget all this ledger or whatever. That's my personal experience, but so many other people, tons of people say, Trezor hardware wallet is really competent, trustworthy. It's really intuitively serviceable. It's user-friendly. It's, there are two models by now. Two main models, Model 1, Model T. And I guess, Model 1 is the more classical one. The Model T is more everything on display. So there's, trade-offs, advantages, or maybe just a matter of taste. So what I want to talk about is, the total pictures about hardware wallets. Then, after that, which I don't even have, is the FullNode. So because, even Peter McCormack just posted a bunch of, Twitter threads about it, a lot of content. He even created a Telegram group. We've had some chit chat about it. I even talked to him personally. He's a great mentor. He's a really, great brother when it comes to, Bitcoin ethos, the mission and education in the dimension of Bitcoin. So so after the hardware wallet comes the FullNode, right? But there's a bunch of options there. Some of them, yes, totally easier, but it costs, like Casa, HODL. You can order it, and then allegedly it's more or less. Allegedly, I've never had one of those. I've never had any kind of FullNode application software tried out. Would it be totally like software or hardware-wise, and then you have maybe to do one, very allegedly intuitive implementation of some baby steps, some settings, maybe minor settings, but still you would have to spend like, I don't know, $200 or $300 per Casa hardware-wise, and then on top of that, pay a subscription service fee. I heard they have a really good service and customer service. If you need help, support per year, that would be additional $300. So it's not little money, and I think for a lot of people, for a lot of newbies, average person, it's a lot of money still. So I'm sure, you know, people are out there, Bitcoiners, developers, coders, UX, UI designers, venture capitalists, angel capitalists, all these people, Adam Beck, all these people, Imperial Shah, Elena, so many people out there, fully with heart and soul and commitment and passion and motivation and inspiration. They're doing so much work in the background. And I do understand, of course, things take time. But what I'm trying to say is that, first of all, as Peter McCormick even said today in his Twitter thread, he said, it's totally, out of place. The people like the hardcore maximalists, hardcore Bitcoin maximalists or Bitcoiners, they come off like with they react with sort of a snobbery attitude and arrogance and maybe even ignorance, I don't know, or just, lack of empathy. And that's what we need in this, evolving space where we have in total estimated 50 million, maybe 100 million, but let's just say conservatively 50 million people around this planet who are hodling, holding Bitcoin, Satoshis, or interacting in touch with, in any shape or form with Bitcoin. So, but even most of these people, they just have they might just have a hardware wallet, or maybe they just leave it on the exchange. So we are far away from mass adoption. Definitely, I totally agree with that. But there's a critical mass we can reach, and that needs a strategical, laser-focused approach to strategy, implementation, execution, cooperation, working together, collaboration, inspiring one another, real creative input, and really accepting and processing, absorbing the critics, the constructive, legitimate critics, from people like me. I mean, I consider myself as a measuring stick for any average person out there, newbie, inexperienced, non-technical, really, lost in this space of, especially when it comes to the FullNode, And of course, you need, first of all, the conditions, the requirements, the technical requirements, whatever the disk space, the hard drive, whatever, external, internal. So there's a lot of things, settings. You have to, all the nuance differences between whatever this and that software application or, Apple, Windows, and blah, blah, blah. I mean, there's so many details to be taken care of, to be looked after. So, hey guys, whether you a Bitcoiner, educator, podcast, a programmer, developer, UX, UI designer, whether you be venture angel capitalist, whether you're sitting on a bunch of hundreds, thousands, and maybe even hundreds of thousands of Bitcoins, let's do our part together, collectively, individually, and collectively, and really laser focus in trying, in attempting, in establishing, in intending, wishing the critical mass adoption. We don't need 8 billion people. We don't even need 2 billion people. What we might need, is maybe 100 million, maybe 200 million, maybe 500 million. But that's about it. That's a tipping point. That's the chain reaction it's going to trigger for this evolutionary, never been done before in the history of mankind, the scarcest and hardest money in history, Bitcoin. Open, decentralized, censorship resistant. It's all about freedom, and that's the essence of the monetary, economical roots of Bitcoin. We don't need to fight the structures. We create. As I think it was, who was that? Fulbright or Fullerton? Somebody said we don't need to fight the existing old systems. All these, the satanic, parasitic, destructive and criminal structures, whether it be government, central banks, Bank for International Settlements, religious dogmatic structures, or what kind of bullshit we have out there. All the symptoms we see there, that's just symptoms. Let's go straight, cut to the bullshit, and create the critical mass adoption, and everything else would just follow, because the seeds have been sown by Satoshi Nakamoto at least 10.5 years ago in 2009. And we're seeing right in front of our eyes the exponential, by order of magnitude, evolution of a truly open, hardest, scarcest, divisible, portable, durable, decentralized, censorship resistant money, right? It's all about, the essence is scarcity, total, absolute scarcity. So please, let's really communicate with one another. Let's have a little bit more empathy, feeling. We don't need to suffer with one another. When I'm not talking about compassion, I'm talking about empathy, feeling on an intellectual level, usage level, mental level, psychological level, accessibility level, picking the people up especially the newbies where they are exactly on that spot. So this is Keyvan Davani. It's all about total Bitcoin, total freedom, total decentralization. My name is Keyvan Davani. I'm saying goodbye. Have a good day. Please subscribe, pound that like button, subscribe my Telegram, Facebook, LinkedIn, social media, Twitter, at Keyvan Davani. Go on my website, keyvandavani.com/podcast. I mean, you can find me everywhere. Just support me a little bit, and so I can do my part full-time with total commitment and passion, and just doing what I have to do. I see it, consider it my responsibility and ethos and mission to educate, to empower my fellow human beings. And yeah, so that's about it. Have a wonderful Sunday, and thank you so much for your support. Bye. The total connector says bye.